I got to see that leadership doesn't have a definitive definition. And so because leadership doesn't have a definitive definition, that means that anyone can be a leader. However, the more I kept learning about leadership and studying leaders, I kept seeing these common traits that were emphasized. And because I keep seeing those common traits emphasized, I started to construct this image that a leader had to pride themselves in being perfect. And that caused an internal conflict because I yearn to be a leader, yet I'm imperfect. So now I'm on this journey of, okay, well, what do I do? How do I reach that ideal image of a perfect leader? So I want to walk you all through 3 of my constructs of a leader. A leader is superhuman, not just human. They're completely unaffected by exhaustion, stress, or being overwhelmed. A leader prides themselves in the fact that they can juggle tasks A, B, C, and D all on their own, again, without feeling exhausted, stressed, or overwhelmed. Now, even though the leader does have the option of delegating those tasks to their followers, they don't, because then that will ruin their image of being a superhuman, which means they're not perfect. So then I began to wonder, okay, well, what does this mean for the followers? Well, that simply means that followers are a glorified fan club. They're only there to boost the leader's ego and reinforce that image that a leader doesn't need anyone. And then I keep reflecting on this construct even more, and I ask myself, I say, Leighton, you need to ignore your natural limitations as a human to be a leader. You can't lean on others because you need to be a superhuman. And a superhuman is perfect, and the moment I lean on others, that will show I'm imperfect. A leader knows all the answers. They pride themselves on not having to say, I don't know, or I'm not sure. The only time they hear those statements is when their followers approach them. Only the followers need to be saying, I don't know, or I'm not sure. The followers won't have to worry about answering the questions of a leader, but wait, a leader shouldn't have questions because all the knowledge in the universe sits rent-free inside their heads. So again, I start reflecting on this construct, I start forming my questions, and the first question I ask is, well, where are those answers coming from? How am I gaining all the knowledge in the universe? Well, I guess those answers simply pop into my mind the moment I say, I want to be a leader. A leader never makes mistakes. They pride themselves on knowing all the right answers to say, or knowing all the correct decisions to make. For instance, imagine we have a leader right here, and followers surrounding them. And over here we have path A. And over here, path B. And the leader says, we're going to go down path A because I'm the leader, and because this is my decision, it's correct, so there's no room for a mistake. What won't cross the leader's mind is that maybe, just maybe, path B was the right path. Now, God forbid this is actually the case, but what if path B really was the correct path and not path A? What does the leader do? They just made a mistake, something they're not supposed to do. Well, the leader sweeps it under the rug, and they never talk about it again. They don't mention it, they just forget about it. They certainly don't publicly admit that they made a mistake, because then that will tear down their image of that they're perfect and they make no mistakes. So now I have to start reflecting again on this construct of a leader makes no mistakes. And then I asked myself, well, why are mistakes viewed as a setback rather than a lesson? Why can't mistakes be seen as a leader trying their best to lead others while maintaining their vision? Why can't publicly admitting that a mistake was made not be a way to build trust between a leader and their followers? So I sit with these three constructs, and I start seeing that there's this pressure of trying to be perfect, of trying to pride themselves in that perfection, and I'm seeing that I'm losing my love and yearning to be a leader. I start questioning if being a leader is even worth it. And so then I need to take a step back, because now I'm losing interest in something I'm supposed to love. And because I'm losing interest, I think maybe I need to start deconstructing this construct. Maybe a leader can be a normal human. Maybe a leader doesn't have to know all the answers. Maybe a leader can make mistakes. And I start seeing this theme: humility. Humility is what allows a leader to acknowledge their limitations as a human, which means they can then lean on others when they are feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, or stressed. They can start asking for help because they realize they can't function at their best right now. Humility allows a leader to be okay with not knowing all the answers. Seriously, it's okay. The leader can be okay with not knowing that, they can be okay with just not knowing all the answers in the universe. And they can be able to go and ask others for those answers. Humility allows a leader to be okay with mistakes. The leader can say, you know what, I made a mistake, but let me learn from it. A leader can publicly admit that they made a mistake without feeling any shame. And if I'm being completely honest with you, that is the bravest thing a leader can do. So again, I like reflecting. I start reflecting on my deconstruction. And I start thinking, okay, well, what does this mean? I start seeing that a leader can be great without needing to be perfect. I start seeing that it's okay to ask for help. I start seeing that it's okay to not have it all together. I start seeing that I don't have to place this insurmountable amount of pressure to try to be perfect. I start seeing that I don't have to change who I am to fit into a construct of a leader. I think of a quote quoted by a great poet. And he says, "Sit down, be humble." And I'm going to be honest with you all, I'm going to take that quote and run with it. I'm also going to offer up 2 challenges. The first challenge is, if you didn't recognize where that quote came from, go look it up. I promise you it's the best poem on earth. Now, my second challenge is a set of challenges. The first one is to dare to be imperfect. Dare to understand that greatness doesn't mean perfection. Dare yourself to try to not change who you are because there might be this image of a perfect leader. Thank you.